Hello and welcome back to Cryptocurrency Trading Masterclass by Wealthy Education. In this video, we're talking about the best chart timeframes for crypto trading. So, unfortunately, there is no specific answer to this. I can't tell you, hey, the 15-minute chart is where it's at, and that's the only way you're ever going to make any money. It's not how trading works. However, there are timeframes that are better for some people than others. So, for example, if you have a full-time job, a 5-minute chart isn't going to do much for you unless you plan on somehow trading while you're working. In that scenario, you might look at a daily time frame or a weekly time frame where you get a new bit of information at the end of the day or the end of the week. If you have all the time in the world to sit and trade, then you may look at a 5-minute chart. So really it's going to come down to what kind of time you can, or quite frankly, are willing to put into it. Now, there's basically two types of trading. Well, there's three actually. There's day trading. So day trading is when you're in and out in the same day. You buy something, you sell it, or you sell something and you buy it, and by the time the day is over with, you're done. You're out of the market. There is swing trading. In swing trading, there's no clearly defined limit, as it were, but let's just say maybe 2 weeks. Most of your trades are less than 2 weeks. Again, could be shorter, could be longer. A lot of times a swing trade is like 3 or 4 days. So it really comes down to how you want to look at it. But the idea is, you can place your trade, you can get up, you can walk away. You have a stop loss and possibly a take profit order. So a stop loss is if price hits a certain price in the market, you get out to protect yourself from losing too much. And then you just get up and you go on about your day. And then the third type is more or less investing. You just buy and hold. And there's a lot of hodlers out there for Bitcoin who just buy and hang on to it. And really all they care about is that it goes higher over the longer term. Okay, so now that we have determined that, let's talk about something called multiple time frame analysis. And it is exactly what you think it would be. It is multiple time frames. So this is the weekly Bitcoin Tether chart. And the first thing you should notice is it's in an uptrend. It's been going higher. So unfortunately, a lot of retail traders will step into this and they'll say, hey, look, it's gone too far, too quickly. I'm going to sell it. And that is a great way to lose money. It's not saying that it can't be correct. It's just that, you're better off going with the flow of the river. So in this scenario, you might say, hey, it's gone too far too quickly, but it's obviously very bullish. There's a lot of people buying it. So I want to buy it. I want to buy it when it goes on sale, when it drops down in price. So this line chart, that's what this is. It's just a basic chart like you've probably seen a million times in your life. Shows that we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. We recently had a pullback, and then it seems like the bargain hunters came in and started buying. So I'm going to go back to the candlesticks. So this is the weekly, so it tells us up. So let's go to the daily. Really not telling us anything different. You wouldn't expect it to. But notice how on the weekly time frame, on that weekly time where we shot up and then we pulled back and buyers came back in. So if you saw that it had gotten a little expensive, but you wanted in on it, then you drill down to the daily and you look for, and we will most certainly go into this throughout the course. You look for candlestick patterns, indicators, support and resistance, something like that. An area where you want to buy it on value. And that's what people did down in this area. But maybe you want to really drill down for some granularity, and you go to the 4-hour chart. Well, while you don't know exactly why at this point in the course, but this was and so was this. These were both really good places to start looking to buy Bitcoin. You could go down to the hour and get even more granular. Now notice that even though we're in an uptrend on the weekly chart, we were in a downtrend right here. This is where traders get into trouble. They try to get too cute and short this, meaning sell it. They're trying to profit on it falling. And there's nothing to say that you can't do that. But look at all this pain you had to endure just to get back down to here. And then we haven't been below there since. So although it was in a downtrend there, again, you just zoom way out or you go to a higher time frame like the weekly, very clearly in an uptrend. That has not changed. And then, of course, if you are a day trader, this is a 5-minute chart. Now, notice how many times it has pulled back. And of course, I'm zoomed way out. But remember, in the context of everything, we're still in an uptrend. So you are looking for opportunities to buy. I cannot stress that enough. If there's only one thing you take away from any trading education you get, don't fight the market. So let's take a look at, let's do Ethereum. And let's go back out to the weekly chart. Clearly in an uptrend. Just been going straight up in the air. The daily chart, very bullish. Looks like it's ready to extend. It's going higher. 4-hour chart, you can see that we kind of zigzagged on the way back. And every time it pulled back in the uptrend it was in, there were people willing to pick it up because it was a bargain. So let's go to, say, the 15-minute chart. Well, again, you can see that if you just buy, the idea is you buy a bit, you take your profit, you let it come back, you buy more, you take your profit, etc., etc. You can keep your stop losses smaller, so your losses are smaller. In day trading, that's the advantage. You know, you're not just buying it and hanging on to it. So let's take a look at Zcash as well. And again, go back to the weekly chart, and you can see that this thing plummeted and now is starting to rise again. So that has implications of what to do now. Well, that was clearly a sell signal. But notice how the low here, the high here, the low here, which is a little bit higher than there, and a higher high. So we are changing the trend. We are starting to grind higher. So when you get a trend, you want to see peaks and valleys. Remember the swing high and swing low? Swing low, swing high, swing low, slightly higher than the one before it. Swing high, definitely higher than the one before it. So it's showing a proclivity to go higher. So in this scenario, you might go down to the daily chart if you're a swing trader and you look for a buying opportunity, expecting to retest the highs, for example, could be your thesis. There's a pattern there that would have had you thinking that. Before that high, you would have had thinking here at this high at the very least. If you go down to, say, the hourly chart. Now, there are multiple pullbacks, but notice how we just can't get as low as the time before. And this is where day trading becomes difficult because it becomes very volatile, meaning very choppy. And let me go ahead and make this a line just so I can zoom way out. And you can see it's been very strong as of late, right? But again, you go to the daily and then the weekly chart, and we've just kind of been all over the place. So you have to be very cautious. When you change directions like this, it does tend to be very noisy, and therefore day trading becomes much more difficult. Again, you want to find an easy trend, like in Bitcoin or Ethereum. Zcash is starting to go that way. But clearly you're going to have messier trading. So always know your trend. Always know your higher time frame trends. Be it monthly, weekly, daily. And if you're a swing trader, then you're probably going to trade like off the daily or maybe the 4-hour chart. Now, if you're a day trader, you might do 5, 10, 15-minute charts maybe. Well, if these are all going higher, then you won't be a seller. You'll just look for buying opportunities. And of course, we'll show you the setups down the road. Look for the higher time frames. Follow them. More often than not, it will work out in your favor over the longer run. In the next video, we'll take a look at how to trade based upon support and resistance levels, which are the basis of any trading system.